Week 10 here at SBR Forum Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We're talking right now with returning guest Doug Upstone from sports-watch.com. Doug, thanks for being back with us. And quickly, before we get into this game, tell us a little bit about sports-watch.com. What's going on there right now?
Well, Sports-Watch, all season long, all of our handicappers, or I shouldn't say all, the vast majority of our handicappers have done extremely well in the NFL. We have a nice selection of guys that are well above the norm in terms of units and really, providing some real value for their customers. And anybody that's looking for a handicapper can come to sports-watch.com. Find somebody that they like, check out their record, go to their website and see exactly what they have to provide and check them out. Plus, we also have a number of features that, in terms of what people can find about reading what's going on, what these guys write about, other videos like myself with what they're doing here, and articles, power ratings, et cetera, et cetera. It's pretty conclusive, and, we're really excited about our future.
Wow. That sounds impressive. Well, I mean, you've been doing great on these videos with us, and let's see if you can do it again here with the Lions at Vikings, which is a game you chose. Now, I'm looking at this game. I think I'm seeing value, too. The Lions are a 2-point road favorite, and Minnesota, of course, they were very good in the beginning of the year, but they kind of been figured out. People just figured out, you just stop Adrian Peterson, double-team Percy Harvin, and Christian Ponder will hand you the game. And, that's been very successful. Now, Percy Harvin is injured. He's probably going to be out for this game. Yes, Detroit has issues. Calvin Johnson is banged up, and they've had issues running the ball, although they ran it better last game. But I'm looking at this. The Vikings are heading into their bye. We saw this with the Redskins last week. They kind of just looked like they were running on fumes. I'm thinking the Lions -2 might be a good to great bet here. Is that what you like?
Well, you know what? You're thinking exactly what I'm thinking here. Detroit. I should say in the NFL, things change pretty quickly. In Detroit, off their 1-3 start, when they lost to Minnesota at Ford Field, that things have really turned around since then, been winning 3 out of 4 and covering all those games. The return of Michael Ashore, I think, has really helped the offense and given some balance. And so now, as things move ahead, Calvin Johnson, I think, will start to face fewer double teams, and/or Matthew Stafford will continue to find an open wide receiver on the other side and tie the shot. Now, in the previous matchup, Detroit lost to Minnesota at home, despite outgaining them by 114 yards and having a first down edge of 23-15. In that game, the Lions gave up a kickoff and punt return for a touchdown. Otherwise, the Vikings offense generated 6 points. Now, Minnesota, as you mentioned, is reverting back to their previous preseason expectations and losing 3 of their last 4. In the Vikings' first 5 contests, the defensive line, or the front 7, I should say, allowed just 78 yards rushing. In their past 4 outings, the Vikes' run defense is beginning to look like a frozen Minnesota winter fishing lake with all the holes in conceding 165 yards a contest. The Vikings' pass offense has become one to ponder about. In this case, I'm talking about Christian Ponder. He's thrown for less than 50 net yards in 2 of the previous 3 contests. Now, there is no doubt at this dome, whatever it's being called these days in the land of 10,000 lakes, this has been a house of horrors for Detroit with a 3-7 straight-up record the last 2 decades. Nevertheless, the Lions are beginning to play up to their capabilities, are growing in confidence, while the Minnesota offense is becoming more predictable than an episode of Matlock. The Lions will end up roaring to win and cover their 5th straight game by a touchdown or more.
Yep, that's how I'm leaning too, and I think unless I get talked out of it by some comments on the YouTube channel or at SBR Forum, I think I'm gonna be betting Detroit pretty big here. Thanks so much, Doug Upstone. Great preview.